we're going to take just a minute and talk about sort of the differences and similarities between Dobro and lap steel. You know, some of you may be coming from the Dobro world, some of you may be just starting on lap steel, but they really relate quite a bit. So I just want to go through some of those similarities, some of the differences, why you would play lap steel as opposed to Dobro and vice versa. So, you know, lap steel being electric has a few differences. One is that when you're plugged into an electric instrument like this, you get a lot more sustain. The notes really sustain for a long time, and even playing single notes, you really you get a lot of sustain, and of course, one obvious one is volume. You know, in certain situations, if you're playing with drums or with an electric band, the lap steel may be preferable to Dobro. You can get louder before anything feeds back. It has sort of a more clear and direct tone on an electric instrument and can sort of cut through in a mix quite a bit. So, you know, lap steel be used in any kind of louder situation. Also, just the tone is different. It has sort of you know, a little bit more sustain. You can use a little bit of distortion, which you can hear here. And I think for a lot of people, that's actually a more sort of familiar sound. It's good for blues, it's good for rock and roll music. So if that's the type of stuff you're interested in, I think lap steel is going to be for you. As far as general technique, it's going to be pretty similar. As I described in the other introductory video, I'm not using finger picks on these two fingers. In Dobro, I would be using two metal finger picks on these two fingers. You know, you can do that on lap steel, but sometimes it can make a bit of a harsh sound. So what I do is I use just the flesh of these fingers, and I use the thumb pick if I want to get a little bit more aggressive for a really strong sound. As I said, in Dobro, you would be using two metal finger picks here. In this, I don't, but you can if it's easier for you. You know, it might take a little bit to get some calluses built up on these fingers if you're coming from Dobro and have been using the finger picks. So, you know, that's a little bit of the difference. Also, we're using this detuning, which you can use in Dobro, and I actually do have some lessons on that in my Dobro curriculum. You can feel free to check those out. But yeah, for me, I just think that sometimes lap steel just makes a nice, unique sound. In a loud situation, you really want to cut through, you really want to rock, and it takes actually a lot less effort, physical effort, to play lap steel. You know, with Dobro, a lot of the volume is coming from just your hands and how hard you strike the strings. With electric and lap steel, a lot of that is done for you with the volume, and so you can play lighter, get a lot of sound. So those are sort of some of the differences and similarities between lap steel and Dobro.